Hey folks, how are we? We're back for episode 7 of Find Things Refreshed. Really excited to be here on what is a semi-sunny Thursday in Carolina Beach. How about up there, Mother? How's the weather?
It's nice. Not too hot and sun's out right now. Can't
Hey,
beat
can't complain about that, right?
it. No.
Well, per usual, we're going to go through our normal structure of a company value. Then we're going to dive into our marketing topic for this episode, which is mail time for you Blues Clues folks out there. And then we're going to tie it up with a shout out, something that, is really near and dear to our hearts and a client that is something that's really exciting. It's a product that's out there that y'all should be tuned in on and it's available. So we'll dive into that at the very end. But let's kick things off with our company value. This is something, again, it's timely. It's summertime. We all know that vacation is important, but our family value, or excuse me, our company value is time away, time outside of the office. So Angie, let's talk about that a little bit. I know it's summer. I know folks are out on vacation, but why is that important?
Well, it's a great topic because I think, we tend to, as people today, go one extreme or the other. I mean, you hear stories about, people having trouble getting back into work and spending a lot of time outside of the office, and then people that never take time outside of the office. And to me, I feel like it has to be a value in your company. It has to be a value, especially if it's a family business. It has to be a value that everybody on the team respects and understands when somebody's on vacation. And it's critical because as much as you love your job, and that's great if you do, and you're in a great place, and if you own a company and you love what you do, there's nothing better. But the ability to get refreshed, um, the ability to spend time doing whatever refuels you
Mm-hmm.
is so important. So for us in a company and owning a company, we have to make that clear to ourselves first, but our employees
Absolutely.
and even our consultants, because our consultants are really, they consider themselves part of the team. And, we can't take advantage and call them when they're on a vacation or be texting them. Um, and sometimes we do, and we make the mistake. Everybody's human, they make mistakes. But it's so important that if this is a value to you, time away, respecting time away, it's not just time
Mm,
away, respecting the time away,
exactly.
then you need to make that known. And when you make a mistake, apologize and say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't even have contacted you. Um, but make it known to everybody on the team, your managers, your top level people, making sure they respect that for your employees. It's not just you. Not everybody carries out your belief system. So if that's
Mm-hmm.
part of your organization, you need to make sure everyone carries it out.
It's so true, and I feel like it's the nature of the beast with small to mid-sized business, particularly on the owner side, that it's hard to step away from work, and when you're in the mindset of I'm working, you think everybody else is working, and sometimes that's not true. In fact, it's probably not true most of the time. So I find myself constantly having to, check myself because we need to respect boundaries, and it's important that we put that value in place because people want to feel appreciated, they want to feel respected, and that time away is really, really, truly important to get refreshed and have them come back and work truly and be a hard worker to create results. So it goes both ways, right? There's the opportunity to create a value, but it also keeps your team refreshed. I think building that PTO time, making sure that you have a PTO policy, whether you're a small business or not, making sure that you have that and something that you can speak to. I know when we hired our first employee, it was something that I talked through with that individual of, hey, we have this PTO and this is our policy. And you guys can create that on your own, but I do think it's really important. But the second part of that I want to talk to is time away also creates an opportunity to understand what life outside the office is for your employees or your consultants or your community at your job, because it's not all about work. And sometimes when you understand that someone may have a passion about something, whether it's sports to flowers to a specific food or a book, an author, a music that they're really into, and you can align on those things, your relationship goes deeper. You start to work better for each other, and that's just really, really, really important. I think when you come to establishing a team, it's not all about results, work, work, work. Yes, that's what we do, but understanding what makes someone tick, what makes someone smile is also really, really important. So I think time away allows you to understand that and truly get involved with someone. So that's our company
Yeah,
value
and
for
being
today.
interested.
Go ahead.
You hear the train?
Yeah,
There's a
is that
train
what's
going
going
by.
on? Yeah. So there's some time
Yeah,
away. Train time.
there's some time away. It's fun. You get on a train and you can go for a ride. But yeah, I think also one other point I want to make about this is like taking the time to be interested in your employees, your consultants when they have gone away to say, how was it? You know,
Hmm.
and not just asking as lip service, but actually asking to listen.
Yes.
Because then you have a bond. You'll be surprised about the connections and the way, God connects all of us where they're talking and you're like, wow, I did that before. Or you're learning something, which is super important. You're
Hmm.
learning
Always
something
learning.
before. So listening and
Absolutely.
learning and acting like you're interested in them and in not acting, but trying to like that's
Truly be interested.
trying to truly be interested in what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really important. And it's more like you said than just saying, "Hey, I hope you had a great vacation," but taking a second to ask them what they did. Um, it is a deeper, deeper level of connection. So our
Yeah.
company value, of course, our family value, because Yazoo is family, but time away and life outside the office and prioritizing that for yourself and your team and creating those boundaries and respecting those boundaries for, of course, yourself, your team, and your clients.
Yes.
So switching gears, company value into our marketing topic. So I want to just take a second to pause. If you guys are out there, you have questions as we dive into this marketing topic, please feel free to jump in, ask us those questions, drop a comment. Or if there's something that you want us to dive into in a future episode, if there's a topic that you guys want us to explore, please let us know. But our marketing topic for today is mail time. Blues Clues. Yes, that was a long time ago. And mail, all of us love it, don't we? Well, we used to really hate it. And everything started transitioning to email. Now everybody hates email. And it's really funny because I just read an article and it was a VP of marketing said, you can probably name the top 5 brands that mailed you something, but I'm sure you can't name the top 5 brands that just sent you an email because you're so extremely inundated. So Angie, let's talk a little bit about how we use this at Yazo. I mean, I know we have a campaign going on right now. We've had a couple clients that we've talked about revisiting this direct mail effort with.
Yeah, and we're doing a really creative one too for a client that's going to be larger than just a mailing. So, obviously for everything Eli just said, I'm not going to reiterate all that, but it's part of a campaign. So what I
Hmm.
think is super cool, first of all, I love mailings because they're tangible. You can be a little bit more creative on the design end. Um,
Well, wait, let's use that for a second. Let's talk about what is direct mail because most folks are like, what? I mean, are you just saying anything? Because it really could be anything. I mean, there's postcards. We just
there's
talked about that.
there's pro
Letters.
that are mailable promo pieces. There's boxes that you can fill and do creative things with.
Yeah.
There's
So
unique
it's
pack.
not just, an envelope. There's a lot of other ways that direct mail can be used. So I just wanted to take a second there to help clarify or give some context as to like what that is. Um,
Magazines, like mini magazines. People are doing
Catalogs.
obviously pieces like this, which that's not a good example. I was trying to see if I had one on my desk here, but um, you know, there's all kinds of different sizes, putting QR codes on them,
Hmm.
doing ones that open up. There's different papers you can use. Um, this is one we just did. Has the cute big QR code on the back.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's different things that you can do with them. And what I love now, so like when I first started getting into marketing, I remember one of the coolest campaigns we ever did. One of the first companies that I was in marketing with is we sent out seeds. And then the next month we sent out like a little thing to plant them in. And then the next, I don't think it was a month, like a couple weeks later, we sent like a shovel, a little shovel, And the campaign was come grow with us.
Love that.
Then at the end, it was like, we're going to call you to see if your seeds grew. And then we talked about the technology. So the marketers then contacted them and said, "Hey, did you get your seeds? Did you plant them?" And it was a really fun, like, opening campaign. And it was for a home healthcare software or technology company, a home healthcare technology company. And I think that kind of went by the wayside. Like, so the next 20 years of my career, I didn't really see a lot of that happening. People weren't really
Hmm.
into it. It was too expensive. They didn't see the outcomes. Um, Data came in where everyone wanted to do everything online because you could use the data then to see if what the ROI was. Now it's coming back in, and I love that because it's creative and you can make it part of a campaign. So
Exactly.
sometimes people will be doing email, mail, ads, all with the same messaging, um, and getting very diligent about having their marketing people, their people that might be communicating with them, asking them, like, are you seeing that? Did you receive that? Like, trying to get data to figure out, how, because it can be super complex. Like,
Yeah.
how does adding a postcard, adding a mailer, adding a cool promo piece impact our results? Does it help it? Not at all. Is it just for branding? But definitely it's a resurgence. And I
It
think
is.
that quote that you said at the beginning is so real because I stop and look at these pieces like, all right, this is like, this is a bank, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, is that located near me? Are they doing small business loans? What are they doing? I
Yep.
would never even consider this brand or even know who they are, to be honest, had I not gotten this. So, yeah, I mean, you're looking at it, um, and you're thinking, wow, I never heard of this company. Who is it? And or whatever.
And
But I
it's
wouldn't go online and search for them ever.
no,
I got an email,
no, and
I'd probably delete it.
that's exactly where I'm getting at. Is that now it's becoming an opportunity because everybody migrated to what we'll call the digital space. Direct mailers allows you the opportunity to stick out. And there's different ways to do that. And it's also about your audience, right? So a lot of folks will say, well, my audience is younger. I need to be online. It's actually not the case. Yes, you should have a presence online. You should have, of course, social profiles and a website and a legitimized digital portfolio for your business. But there's a lot of youth that now want direct mail. In fact, they are eager for it because it's not something that you're used to getting, particularly personalized direct mail. If you're engaging with someone that's sending them, maybe it's a follow up letter that's handwritten inside, that's a direct mail opportunity. But there's also ways for you to take it a step further with some of these customized pieces. To Angie's point, that campaign, I know we're exploring a Q4 campaign with the client right now on a customizable box that would be sent to a potential client that would shock them, hopefully, to make that next move. So these are all examples of direct mail. It doesn't necessarily have to be a letter. It doesn't have to be a postcard, but it could be a number of different things. And we are really finding that the youth are eager for this. And here's another example. There's it's the education marketing manager for Colorado Youth for Change. She talks about how they've almost doubled their direct mail budget, but they've also, by doing that, seen an increase in donations. So obviously that's a nonprofit. So maybe it's viable for that business. So of course you have to take a look at your audience, take a look at the type of business that you are. But if you put those efforts in there and you talk about, to Andy's point, establishing ROI, as long as you can create that channel, there's opportunity there to make waves and have someone shift off their block to do something. In this case, it was a donation, but maybe taking that next step to setting a discovery meeting. Those are all ways or opportunities that direct mail can be utilized. So it's just something that is out there for us to kind of come back to. It's like almost like the 90s. They said everything's coming back. The music is coming back. The looks coming back. The hairstyle is coming back. All those trends. Direct mail's right there with you. It's coming back. So it's something that if you're interested about, let us know. But the last piece here that I want to highlight, it's funny because all of the things that are going on online, there's this huge data concern, right? All of these policy, the privacy policy, the cookies, you need to do things and allow you to collect that data online. You can step away from that totally by going into direct mail and prompt someone to send back to you, whatever it may be. So like you're kind of be able to step out of that data privacy concern world and go into, well, you know what, we're going to go old school for a moment here. So a couple different ways to look at it, a couple different, mindsets in terms of how you approach it. But if you're interested in this space at all, whether you're a current client of Yowza that may be tuning in, or someone that's out there that have questions on how direct mail could be applicable to your business or what audience you want to go after, let us know, because there are lots of different ways to attack this. And it doesn't need to break the bank either.
And here's what's really cool. Like, there's 2 points I want to make. One is that, I remember back in the day sending out those pieces, you had to have a phone number. Like, the only way they were going to respond back to you is through phone number.
Mm-hmm.
We just had this conversation with someone, a fun conversation. I'm not being critical, but like a fun conversation where she was like, but I don't know how to use QR codes, and that is actually sort of an outdated thought. Even older people now know how to use QR codes. That's one thing COVID helped with, because restaurants
Mm-hmm.
solely like to having their menus be
Everything
QR,
digital.
and you would get them through the QR code. But like, what's really cool about a piece like this is I've even seen ones where it's a huge postcard and it's like a red postcard, and in the middle is nothing but a QR code. And now I'm definitely scanning that, because I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this even
What is
about?
this?
It's a red postcard with a huge QR code. Now you're going to see return address to whatever extent they did that. But I'm thinking to myself, wow, that's super cool. And I want to see what's in that QR code. So you can get super creative with it and have fun. And it doesn't have to be just a phone number. You can have a digital presence where that QR
Yep.
code, open up a video of somebody saying, whoa, you just scanned my QR code. How? And like, you can get creative like that. Then the other thing is thinking about it as a campaign. One of the things I
Yeah.
caution against a lot of times is just sending one postcard out and being like, oh, I'm done.
One and done's.
Didn't
Yeah.
get anything from that. Try to have a budget, even if you have to send less, that you can repeat and do as part of a campaign. And it tells a story, and it's like a series, or it's, or you're trying different things. Think of it as almost like a chance to do some A/B testing with mail.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of an impressive thought, to think about it as part of a campaign and not just a one and done thing.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
have 2,000, send out
Mm-mm.
200 that you're really trying to get an audience with.
And it also, what we talked about, it forces you to then take a second and look at who is your audience. I mean, it forces you to kind of do some of that strategy work that you probably are hesitant to do in the first place. So you want to go out direct mail, it's going to take a second. We're going to do some discovery work, but there are definitely ways to use it. Get it into a campaign. You can customize it. Look at your audience. How can you approach them? Is it a postcard? Is it a letter? Is it a customizable promo piece? I don't know, but we can figure it out, and I'm sure it will be useful in some scenario within your business. So, marketing topic, mail time. No, not Blue's Clues. This is direct mail. So, you guys are curious. Again, questions, comments, drop them in. We would love to hear from you guys. But we're going to pivot here and go into shout out. I'd mentioned at the beginning that this is something that was, really exciting for us. We spend a lot of time. Obviously, I'm passionate about health and wellness. Coming from a family, the woman that you're looking at, my mother, was always been in that space. Always kind of been on the cusp with one of our consultants, Dana Guy, who is, always finding the latest and greatest that are out there. But we've got introduced to this client, and they've put a really, really great product on the market within the health and wellness space, and that's NutriHeal Plus. So, Angie, I'm going to throw it over to you, because I know this is near and dear to your heart and a closer one that you work with more than I do. But while you're doing that, I'm going to get a ticker up so you guys can find more information about them on the website. So over to you, Angie. NutriHeal Plus.
Yeah, so
Let's talk.
NutriHeal, plus.com. there's two products, NutriHeal and NutriHeal Plus, and these products were developed by physicians, anesthesiologists, and these doctors work in, in and around surgery all day long, every day, all day long. And they know, and there's a lot of studies you can actually read on NutriHealPlus.com, that people come in for surgery tend to do better in recovery. Those that are really, nutritionally compliant, like they take
Yeah.
care of themselves, or more into health and wellness, they tend to do better. But yet, even people that think they're super fit and healthy are often devoid of specific nutrients that actually help in the healing and pain control process, which all of us need to be aware of. So these two products that they developed and formulated are now on the market. They're just getting ready to get picked up by a distributor in like the southern states, but you can order them online. They're selling on Amazon as well. And what I wanted to share today is, like, I use the product. I think it's amazing. So it's for surgical and injury recovery, but it's also for athletes. Not just like like you're a major athlete, but if you're older or you're an athlete that's prone to injury, like in my
Hmm.
case, at 54 years old, I might go out this weekend and bike both days. I'm doing 14-mile bike rides now. I'm maybe feeling a little bit more pain. This product's super good for that, for aging athletes, weekend warriors, and
Hmm.
athletes that are prone to injury. So if you're a athlete like yourself, Eli, that you tend to
Prone
get
to injury.
issues or current injury, like I've always struggled with hip pain, it's perfect for that type of person. I really love NutriHeal Plus, but NutriHeal and NutriHeal Plus, two different product formulations. I'm not going to get into that. It's on the website. But what I want to share is a testimonial. There is a gentleman. I'm not going to share the name today, just because this is going through compliance with getting going out. But he is in the wellness world. Okay. And he took NutriHeal for 45 days. At the very beginning, he's a swimmer, so he's in wellness as an expert, but he also
Mhm.
swims for his own personal enjoyment. And he had been swimming daily, and he was struggling after, I believe he had COVID, with some breathing issues, and he would do 10 lengths of a 32-foot pool and be struggling to catch his breath. And so he started taking it, and after 45 days, he was basically seeing a massive improvement. So if you look at this, where he started, he said he was able to only do 40 lengths total each day, and he had to take long pauses between each set in order to catch his breath. What happens was, he came out to us. So he's trying this product, and he came and said, "This is unbelievable." I was seeing improvement super quick after taking NutriHeal. Within 1 week, he could do 50 lengths without stopping, and could do
Wow.
a total of 100 a day. Okay, so that was like after he went from 40 lengths to 100 lengths. And after a few days, he was able to swim continuously 100 laps daily, and then he could cool down by walking 20 lengths. He also shed 7 pounds and said he felt great. What happened in part two, so that was part one of his testimony. He came back in part two. He had cataract surgery. The doctor told him he couldn't swim for 3 weeks. So he was really expecting a major downturn in his performance. And the doctor said, "Wow, like, your eye recovery is perfect." The doctor was surprised about his eye recovery. And then when he went back to swimming, he had no change in what he was able to do.
Pretty
He's,
remarkable.
because I am in wellness, I made no other changes other than adding NutriHeal Plus. I have to attribute this to the supplements. As a
Mhm.
long haul COVID sufferer, and this is why this is near and dear to me, this has made a remarkable difference for me.
Yeah.
That's one of multiple testimonies coming in, that of people who are just using it after injuries and after surgery, saying, my doctor said I healed in half the time. Um, because the formulation is specifically tied to studies that they know impacts healing.
Healing.
That's why. So, I mean, I've been on this product. I switched from NutriHeal Plus to NutriHeal. I injured my rib, and ribs take a really long time. I've done it before, so I have like a comparison, and I would say it's probably like half the time of the injury from the rib before. It's not fully recovered yet, but I know when I injured it before how long it took. So
Mhm.
our other consultant is on the product as well, and she's
I
blown.
just bought it.
And Dana is very skeptical about giving testimonial for product because she's used supplements all her life and doesn't necessarily see like something that makes a difference. And she just feels like this product is remarkable too. So it's hard to stay silent about it. You go to NutriHealPlus.com or Amazon and look it up. If you are an athlete that just struggles with recovery, injury, recurrent injury, or you have a surgery or had a surgery or broke a bone, it is worth its weight to buy this.
Mhm.
It really is. And to try it. And if you work in the wellness market and would like to try it, we are running a program where we are sending out samples to practitioners that want to try it and that are willing to kind of follow up with us on how it goes. So if you're a practitioner, get in touch. If you just want to try it, try it. It's worth it.
Yeah, NutriHealPlus.com or Amazon. That's where I just ordered it. So um, that's our Find Things shout out. NutriHeal, let's take a step back. We talked about family time. No, geez, listen to me, family time. We talked about time away from the office and life outside the office, but taking that time off, the importance of that as a company value and establishing that obviously for yourself, your employees, your team, and your folks of community, whether that's your clients or whomever you're involved with, and respecting those boundaries. But then our topic for our marketing was mail time and direct mail and how to utilize that within your space, within your business, and how it can be applicable to your audience. And then, of course, our shout out, NutriHeal Plus. But
Yeah.
we appreciate you guys tuning in for episode 7. Episode 8, we may be doing together. We'll see. That date will be fluctuating a little bit. I have a wedding that I am involved with. I'm actually getting married. So we'll see what that date lands. Stay tuned for when that is scheduled out. But we're excited to hopefully see you here back the third Thursday of every month. You guys have comments, drop it in there. Let us know what topics you want to hear about. But we appreciate y'all. Dive on in with us and have an awesome Thursday. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.